Sednaya Prison, the human slaughterhouse. Aerial shots of Damascus fade into dark, foggy images of prison walls, the sound of distant screams and echoing footsteps. In the quiet hills north of Damascus lies a place the world was never meant to see. A place of silence, darkness, and death. This is Sednaya Prison, known to survivors as the human slaughterhouse. A fortress where thousands of Syrians entered, but almost none ever came out alive. Old satellite images of Sednaya, photos of Assad, and clips of Syrian protests in 2011. When Syria erupted into protests in 2011, the Assad regime responded with unrelenting force. But while the world saw the bombs and the battles on TV, another war was being fought behind closed walls. Thousands of Syrians, students, doctors, activists, even children, were taken in the middle of the night. No warrant, no trial, no goodbye. They were brought here, to Sednaya. Officially, it was a military prison. In reality, it became one of the most brutal killing machines of the 21st century. Inside Sednaya, torture was routine, and survival was rare. Prisoners were crammed into cells so tight they couldn't sit or lie down. They were beaten, starved, electrocuted, forced to drink filthy water, and sometimes left hanging for hours until their bodies gave up. Amnesty International report graphics and survivor sketches. According to Amnesty International, guards executed prisoners in secret. At night, inmates would hear the sound of keys, boots, and chains. Then whispers, "Your name has been called." Those names were never heard again. Reenactment silhouettes of blindfolded prisoners being led down corridors. Every week, groups of detainees were taken to a basement room. They were told they were being transferred, but instead, they were hanged, sometimes in batches of 50 at a time. Guards placed ropes around their necks and pulled the lever. Some prisoners were still alive when their bodies were dumped into trucks. From 2011 to 2015, up to 13,000 people were executed this way. All in total secrecy. Amnesty report headline, "Human Slaughterhouse, Mass Hangings and Extermination at Sednaya Prison." Even the guards called it the Slaughterhouse. The victims were buried in mass graves near Damascus. Their families never told the truth. Photos of torture evidence, Caesar photos, satellite images of mass graves. Torture wasn't random, it was systematic. Part of a deliberate strategy by Bashar al-Assad's regime to crush dissent through fear. Former detainees describe hearing guards joke about executions, calling them the night shifts. The United Nations Commission of Inquiry later concluded, Sednaya Prison was part of a policy of extermination, a crime against humanity. UN and Amnesty logos, footage of press conferences. The Caesar files, over 50,000 photographs smuggled out by a Syrian military defector, showed emaciated, tortured bodies marked with numbers. Each number, a name erased from the world. Courtrooms in Germany and France, survivors giving testimonies. For years, the world watched, but did little. But in recent years, brave survivors and investigators have begun to fight back. European courts, using universal jurisdiction, have begun trying former Syrian officers. In 2022, a German court convicted a senior intelligence officer for crimes of torture. The first step toward justice for Sednaya's victims. Survivor testimonies, candles being lit in remembrance. They speak for those who never came home. For the sons, fathers, and sisters who vanished in the slaughterhouse. Empty prison corridor fading into the Syrian landscape. Sednaya Prison still stands. Its walls hold secrets the world may never fully uncover. But the truth continues to emerge, piece by piece, testimony by testimony. And as long as those stories are told, the dead are never truly forgotten. In memory of the victims of Sednaya Prison. Justice will not fade with time. Include Amnesty, UN, and SNHR report with citations. 13,000 executed, 96,000 disappeared. Subscribe for more.